Welcome back, guys. In today's video, we are going to be flipping a few of my old items. Some of the items that I have made last fall or several falls before that just kind of missed the mark and just need a little bit of help. Let's go ahead and get started. We're going to start out with these two fall wreaths that I've had for several years. I actually made these probably 4 years ago, right when I really started throwing myself into my craft pretty heavily and doing craft fairs. So I made these with some old grapevine wreaths that I had gotten on clearance from Hobby Lobby, probably even a couple years prior. I tend to do this. I like to go find the sales and then I keep stuff in my hoard and then I pull it out whenever I need to make whatever. So I'm going to start by darkening these wreaths up a bit. These are cream and some of them even have a little bit of shimmer on them because they were made for Easter. When I originally made these, I didn't do anything else to them. I just left them as is, and I don't feel like these wreaths ever fully came together, which back then to me, I think they were great and they were what, you know, I felt like I was capable of doing then. But now I see it and looking back and getting to see my growth as to what I am today, it's time to finally take these apart and flip them and make them something that's more to my taste now, especially because my friend is going to be purchasing these and putting them in a silent auction with my name and things on them. So I would really like them to represent my style now. I'm going to start with some Waverly antiquing wax, and I'm just going to, this is already kind of mixed with water, so it's watered down a bit, but I'm just going to do a dry brushing all over this, and I don't want to completely cover it. All I want to do is slightly darken the shade of this cream and give it more of a fall feel. Right now it's a little too bright and we need to just dim it down some. So I'm just taking one of my chip brushes, our hard bristle brush, that's going to leave lots of texture. I'm dipping it in this watered down antiquing wax and I'm kind of dabbing most of it off and just dry brushing all over this wreath, even underneath the flowers and things, and darkening it up. I'm going to do this for both of them. The next thing I'm going to do is remove the bow that I have on both of them. Now, don't get me wrong, Buffalo Check is definitely still in. However, it was kind of a miss for this wreath. It never really went, I feel like, with the cream colored grapevine, with the bright colored flowers, and then with just a harsh black and white bow. It didn't really quite fit, and I don't feel like it's the correct bow for this. So I'm going to pull these off, but I am going to keep them and reuse them in the future. I am going to be just replacing the bow on the first one. I'm not going to do much of anything else to this other than take some of these current colors that I have and that I've been really into with making these ribbon bows, and I'm going to cut down the length of the ribbon that I need. And I'm going to do a couple different ones. I'm going to do this orange burlap one and this, it's like a burnt orange buffalo check pattern. And I'm going to cut those down to what I need. And then I'm also going to cut little triangles out of the tail of them. How I do it is I just fold the end in half. And then I either cut up from the open corner to the center, or I cut from the center up, where it's folded down to the open corners, and it gives you an even symmetrical little tip. I know these tails have an actual proper name. I don't know what it is, but I'm going to do that on them, and then I'm going to just take this other ribbon that I have. Sorry, I'm having issues with my speaking today, but I'm going to take the other ribbon that I have. This one I know is from Dollar Tree. The other two, I'm not sure where I got them. I pick it up from anywhere I go that I see a good sale. And I'm going to cut the ribbon off of it, and I'm going to cut a little bit of the fabric off the sides just to make it a little thinner so you can still see those ribbons behind it. But I like this one because it has the cute fall sayings on it. So I'm just going to cut it down, again, cut those triangles into it, and then I'm going to take a lighter. Now, you don't have to do this, and please be very careful because I'm not even putting the flame to the ribbon. Just the heat from the flame is kind of going to cinch those, the edges of this ribbon so that it's not going to just frail. Is that the word? That's not the word. I don't know the word. This happens to me all the time when filming, and I usually edit out, but this is just for you guys. You can keep it. Fray. Hey! Okay, so that it doesn't fray. Now, this stuff will catch on fire like that. So please be careful and don't do it if you're not sure, or practice on a separate piece of ribbon so you don't burn up what you're using for your project. But again, it's just the heat from the flame. I'm holding this several inches back and it's still able to get those frays and keep it from happening in the future. And then I'm going to pinch this in the middle, actually use that gold wire that I cut off of this ribbon as the center. Now you can use floral wire, any other wire you have, even just string, jute string, any of that, and you're just gonna tie it together. So I'm gonna pinch it in the middle, and I kind of like crease it, pinch it in the middle, put that around, and then I'm going to secure that to the grape wreath frame. I'm just gonna grape wreath, grapevine frame, and I'm just gonna use the wire and kind of attach it on, wire it through, tighten it down, and then I'm going to make a little jute bow to add to the middle of this to kind of finish it off. I'm just gonna wrap this around a few times, leaving a little extra out for the tail on either side, and then I'm gonna cut another small piece of the jute and I'm going to tie that directly in the middle, and it's gonna make a cute little bow, and I'm gonna hot glue that down to the front. Now I tend to try to not use very much hot glue on my wreaths and things, just in case it does get direct sunlight, because you don't want the hot glue to melt and fall off. But with just this little bow, I felt like that was the best way to attach it. But for the rest of it, it's mostly just wired in. That way, if someone wants to take this wreath apart down the line, they're able to do that easily. But that is all I'm gonna do to flip this first one. I think it looks so much better. I feel like it matches my style so much more now. And I feel like I've kind of figured out colors and how they kind of go together, where in the past, I didn't know that it was a struggle, but I kind of struggled with that just a little bit. But it's really cool to get to see something that I've started with and how far I've grown. So I'm just going to show you both versions, and you guys can let me know which one you like better. Clearly, I like the newest version, but that might not be everybody's opinion. So we're going to jump into the second wreath. And with this one, again, I just took that Waverly, watered down Waverly wax, dry brushed that all over it. And then I took that bow off. Now for this one, I am wanting to add a little bit of ribbon, but I don't want the ribbon to be the focal point. So I'm going to do the same exact thing as I did on the last one, make a little crisscross, lay it down in a crisscross pattern, pinch the middle, tie it down, and add that to the wreath. But then I'm gonna put a flower on top. Now, I had this orange flower that matched the colors of the sunflowers on here perfectly, and I thought that's what I wanted to add there, so I did go ahead and hot glue that down. But it didn't seem just quite right. So I took this yellow sunflower that I have, it's a nice big one, and it can be the focal point, and I painted it to match. So I just used some acrylic paint, and I used orange and red barnwood. So I just used the orange on all of the leaves first, then I took that red barnwood color, mixed it in with the orange to darken it, and then painted that all over. So it's kind of like a dry brush, but I did have to saturate my brush just a little bit more than normal since it is fabric and it absorbs in. So I just got that to the colors that I like, and then I pulled that other ribbon off and put the sunflower on. I'm much happier with how this looks, and it did make me feel a lot better. Now, off camera, I did decide to add in some more berry stems. Once I had it hanging up there and was looking at it when I thought it was done, something was just still missing. So I took some of these berry picks that I had on hand and added those in, and I really feel like it brought it all together and gave it a good focal point to look at. So I'm gonna let you see the difference, and you can let me know again, do you like this original version or the new and improved version better? And out of the two wreaths, which one would you choose? The next project I'm going to work on are these pumpkin stacks. Now, I made these Dollar Tree pumpkin topiaries last fall, and I honestly kind of did it in a hurry, but I did a big version and I did a small version of the foam pumpkins from Dollar Tree. These were just those standard foam orange pumpkins with the little styrofoam green stem at the top. I pulled this the stem out of all of them. I painted them up to the colors that I wanted with some chalk paint. I glued them all together, and I used some Spanish moss to kind of hide the cracks. Now, I didn't do what most people do where they put moss over the entire thing and then put the pumpkin on top. I kind of put it dispersed. That way it was just kind of like, I don't know, it wasn't just globs of moss hanging out. I just liked the style that I did better. However, looking back at them, didn't really love them. So I still have them this season. The mini stacks that I did, though they sold, but I wanted to refresh these for this season. Now I did also use a stick that I picked up out of my yard for the stem for both of these, and some of the, is it the eucalyptus little leaves to put on top. So what I'm going to do is pull those leaves off and replace them with actual pumpkin leaves that I have from other florals that I've already used. And then I'm going to give them a dry brushing of that Waverly, that same watered down Waverly antiquing wax, and another color that I'm currently obsessed with. It's by Waverly. It's their metallic paint and it's called Moonstone. But it's just this really pretty like light gold color. And I really, really like it. So what I'm going to do is take that. First, I'm going to dry brush on that Waverly all over all the pumpkins. Then I'm going to take the Moonstone and I'm going to dry brush all over the pumpkins. And this is going to leave like a nice shine, give these pumpkins a little more dimension and a bit of character so they're not just so plain and blah. And then I'm also going to touch those pumpkin leaves with a little bit of dry brush of that Moonstone as well, just to spice it up a little and give it that same kind of glisten. So you can see here, they have all kinds of dimension to them now. They kind of have like a shine to them. I love these so much more. Again, you guys let me know. Do you like the original version better or do you like how they look now? So that same bow that I made for that wreath, I made another one to put on top of here just to give it a little something extra. Again, I just leave little tails and then I start wrapping it however many times that I want. And then I leave a tail the same length on the other side and then I just tie it in the middle and add it on to whatever I am needing. And I love these. I'm so happy with them. I was kind of about them before. I could take them or leave them, but I'm very happy with them now. I would definitely use these in my own home. So let me know what you think about them. If you want to see the original version just to kind of see how to stack them, let me know. I do have that. I'll link it in the description. I will say, I don't think I mentioned, but I'm pretty sure I put a dowel rod in the middle of these to make sure they were nice and sturdy and that they wouldn't go anywhere. I don't remember for sure because it's been a year, but I'm pretty sure I did that just to make sure that they weren't going to come unglued and just like topple over. But yeah, so you can check that out in the description below. But this video is just clear, like, I don't know about you guys, but I sometimes have a hard time when I do a project and it's a miss. Like, I'm not in love with it. It didn't turn out how I thought in my head. I have a really hard time taking the time to stop and start over because I feel like I just put all this time into it and I just get frustrated and I just, whatever, maybe someone will like it. We'll see. If not, I'll come back to it. Well, I have a hard time coming back to it because I've already put so much time into it. So this video is just about showing you my growth, showing you that it's okay. Not every project is going to be a hit. Not every project is going to turn out how you like it, and that is okay. And you don't have to attack it right now, but maybe after some time has passed, you can see it with new eyes and go back and do the things or the changes that you think will help make it. And maybe those changes don't save the project. I've had that happen too, where I'm just like, this one's done for, and I just get rid of it because sometimes you just have to move on. But I would love to let you guys let me know how you feel about these projects, if you think they were worth trying to save. I personally think they are. I'm very excited about them. I'm going to give you guys a closer look, and I'll see you next time.